everybody. Okay, so welcome to Tuesday. So the plan for today, yesterday, and I'm sorry I got the video published later yesterday. I had it all set to go, guys, and I thought I hit publish, and I didn't. So hopefully today I've got everything out first thing in the morning. But you've got your attendance check-in or your warm-ups down here, but remember you do the attendance check-in up top, so you don't have to do the warm-up too. And then the video for today, you're watching that right now. And then what we want to do is we want to practice this solving multi-step equation. So if you have not finished up the tic-tac-toe and submitted it, it is due tonight by midnight. So if you didn't already finish up the tic-tac-toe and get that submitted, finish that up first, okay? Finish that assignment. Then this is the plan for today. We need to practice solving these multi-step equations some more. So when you click on this, you're going to get this screen that's going to pop up and you'll hit begin, okay? So it's got 8 problems over here, and here's your answer bank over here on the side. So what you would do is you would solve number 1. You would figure out which one of these answers is your answer, whatever it is, I don't know. And you'll scroll down and you'll choose that letter here. Okay, so like for number 1, I don't know if your answer is J, you would put J. I don't know, I don't remember what it is. I do want to work one of these with you right now. So I'm going to work number 5. Number 5 looks the longest and the scariest to me, what I think you guys would think. So is the longest and the scariest. So I am going to work that one with you right now. So let's see. I can get my thing here. Okay, so here is number 5. So remember, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our line all the way down. Perfect. Now, step number 2 is look for parentheses. Do we have parentheses? Yeah, we actually have a lot of parentheses. We have 3 sets. So we need to do step number 3, which is distribute. Okay, so I'm looking at my first set of parentheses right here. On this piece right here, what number is sitting in front of the parentheses? I can hear you saying there's no number there. There's not, actually. There's nothing to multiply other than we could say there was a 1 sitting there. And that's cool. If there's a 1, that's perfect. We can multiply 1 times everything inside the parentheses. Is it going to change what's inside our parentheses? 1 times any number. Isn't it just that number? Won't 1 times 2 just be 2? There's the bell. Another one's going to ring in a minute. 1 times 2 is just 2. What is 1 times -1? It's still -1. Okay, so we actually can just drop these parentheses right here. We could have just ignored them because there's no other number other than 1 sitting in front of them. Okay, well now over here though, I have a 3 sitting in front of my parentheses, so I need to distribute that 3. Well, 3 times x, that's going to be positive 3x. And 3 times -5, oh, well that's -15. Okay, I'm going to bring down my equal sign. Now I'm going to distribute on the other side. I have a -2. -2 times 2, that's -4x. -2 times 1, that's -2. Okay, moving along here. Now, we did step number 3, distribute. Step number 4 says combine like terms on each side. Okay, awesome. So let's look and see, what do we have on each side? Well, on this side over here, I have a -4x, and -2. Those are not like terms. I can't combine them. So I'm going to go over to the other side now. Well, I have a 2x, and then I see I have a 3x. Aren't those like terms? Can't I combine those? 2 plus 3, well, that's 5x. So those are combined now. Okay, I see I have a -1 and a -15. Can't I combine those? Aren't those like terms? Yeah, -1 plus -15, that's -16. All right, I'm going to bring down my equal sign, and I'm going to bring down this side, -4x minus 2. Okay, so my equation's getting smaller. That's always a good thing. Well, now the next step says get your variables together. So what that means is I want my variables on the same side. I can see on this side I have a 5x, and this side I have -4x. So what I need to do is actually get those two together on one side. Because remember, my goal when I solve is to say x all by itself equals some number. This is the goal. This is where I'm trying to get to right here. So I need to get my x's together so that they'll be on one side and I can isolate them. So you have a choice here. You could either subtract 5x on both sides, or you could add 4x to both sides. Remember, we have to do the opposite. Whichever one you do is your preference. I usually, if I see I have one that's a negative, I like to deal with that one because I think, well, I could add. I would have to add, so it would opposite so that those cancel out. Well, I'd also have to add over here. And now I'm thinking ahead going, well, that's great because now I no longer have a negative coefficient in front of my variable because 5 plus a positive 4 is 9x. Well, then I would bring down the negative 16. And then I also have to bring down the negative 2 on this side. So I'm getting closer. I'm going to erase this so I have more room. Almost there. Okay. Well, I know I need to get this term by itself. So you can almost cover that up with your fingers and look what's next to it, negative 16. So I need to move the negative 16 away from my 9x so that I can get x by itself. So I have to do the opposite. The opposite of negative is positive 16. So I'm going to add a 16 to both sides. Great. Negative 16 plus 16, well, that's 0. So that cancels out. Okay, well then negative 2 plus 16 is actually equal to positive 14, and I still have my 9x over here. Now, I am going to have to move this to a new screen, so bear with me. 9x equals 14, that's where we were. Still have my line. So I need to get bell. Okay, that should be the last bell. We shouldn't be interrupted anymore. So I have to get x by itself. So in order to do that, I know that 9 is multiplied times x. So I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. Whatever you do to one side, you better do it to the other side. 9 divided by 9 is just 1. 1x is all that's left. 14 divided by 9. That's a fraction. Now, I could try to simplify this fraction by putting it in the calculator, but make sure your answer is still in a fraction because I didn't have any decimals in my problem when I started. So the chances are I don't need a decimal answer. So if you type 14 divided by 9 in the calculator, you're going to get a decimal. Then if you hit math, the math button at the top left, and then hit enter, it'll convert it back to a fraction for you. And I guarantee what you're going to get is 14 over 9 because that fraction is already simplified. We can't simplify it anymore. So then what I would do, since that's number 5, let me minimize this. I would come over here now. So we just worked 5 and we said our answer is 14 over 9. So we would find 14 over 9 is G. So you can go to number 5 and you can select that it is G. We know that for sure. I don't know that this one's J, guys, so don't get confused about that. I just typed something in. Whoops, I don't know where it went. It just disappeared on me. That was interesting. Okay, I don't know why it disappeared. It just glitched on me, so hopefully it doesn't do that to you. But let me refresh and see what happens. It should have saved my work. It did. For some reason, when I hit back on that, it took it out, but that's okay. So there's G, but again, this one, I don't know that that's J. I haven't worked that one, so don't think that's J. But 5 is definitely G because we worked that one together. All right, so that's a refresh. How do you work these problems? If you need help with any of them, let me know. Tell me which problem you're working on, which number, and I can make a video going over the problem for you. I don't have any problems doing that. So I hope you guys have a good day. And again, reach out if you need some help.